Once upon a time in the media space. Listen. Jam. It was a search for treasure like no other. But the farther they dug, the more difficult the task was, until they found diamond.
Host of the Wednesday edition of the Diamond Breakfast Show.
You're welcome once again to the editors.
Alright, you're welcome in Diamond Moments that comes your way every weekday.
There it was. Diamond 88.7 FM, a rare and valuable radio frequency. With this discovery, the search was over and maximum satisfaction guaranteed. Diamond 88.7 FM, we shine supreme.
The 7 FM, I want on me. Come on, let's go. Ilé-iṣẹ́ alálùbáríkà. Diamond FM ní bàbá wọn. Yes, o. Gbé polówó ọjà rẹ wá síbẹ̀ o. Kájé kó dẹ̀bù gbájẹ́. Ètò tó pójú owó. Diamond FM lẹ́ máa ti gbọ́. Alright, ètò tó gbà yá yìí. Diamond FM ní kẹ́ máa gbọ́ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ bíbí odò jíjì. Ilé máa bẹ́ lọ́sàn. Diamond FM ní bàbá wọn. Kò sẹ́lẹ̀gbẹ́ láwùjọ. Gbépo lọ́wọ́ kọjá kọta ní wìrìwìrì. Diamond FM la fẹ́ máa gbọ́ o. La fẹ́ máa gbọ́. Diamond FM la fẹ́ máa gbọ́.
The time is 9 o'clock.
Aago mẹ́sàn-án ti lù.
You can only get timely, credible, and reliable news on your shining supreme station. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
Exactly, it's 9 o'clock. Good morning and thanks for staying with us right here on our show this morning. This news punch and news current affairs compilations of topical stories making the rounds. I'm your host, Precious Afolabi. Here are the headlines. The federal government says 1 trillion naira needed annually to sustain school feeding program. The federal government vows to track project implementations by Regional Development Commission. The federal government target $4 billion still imports quote with $400 million Ogun plan. In the security, NEC fails to take stand and state police dares deliberations again. NEC seek modern livestock famines to curb others farmers clashes. Delta mass defections to APC painful, shocking. Damagun's lament. More governors' comments to APC, says Dan Juje. Rivers administrators Ibas snubs House of Representatives panel. Lawyers demand NBA leadership registrations over 300 million naira. While propagating hyperb activities on social media, CDS warns Southern Easterners. NLC shut down Wike's office, demand the 70,000 naira minimum wage for area council workers. State police will hand endemic insecurity in Nigeria, Governor Ubasani. Governor Sule pays NECO fees for over 24,000 students in Nasarawa. Okay, Ode Kingmakers hails Tinubu Abdul Razak over Ojulari's appointment. Moving on to the foreign scene, Russia bans 21 British parliamentarians from entering country. Vietnam, US begins trade tour. And moving on to the world of sports, Fenerbahce defenders Osai unveils under 13 soccer tournament for Rising Stars in Edo. De Bruyne to refuse playing for Man City at 2025 Club World Cup. All these and many more, the headlines that will be coming on the show today. I'm Precious Afolabi. For sponsorship or advert placement, kindly contact our sales and marketing on this number 0912 929 4332 or 0907 722 7120. Up next is Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have in-depth analysis on some of the topical stories. And don't forget, you can also follow us by logging on to any of our Diamond online platforms and www.diamondfm.net. Keep update via social media pages. Please stay with us.
See, wait, he's from our tribe and we have the same religion, so we have to protect our own. Our tribe isn't corrupt. I beg you, leave him now, our Peking.
Wait, stop and think. Do you realize that the impact of corruption and careless decisions by that clansman or family member of yours doesn't know tribalism or nepotism? Let's hold everyone accountable for a better society and country. If you see something, say something to the right authorities.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Top of the morning to you, beautiful people of Nigeria, this very great country. And of course, we'll say you're welcome to your program, DBS Diamond Breakfast Show, this very morning. This is the very last edition we'll be having this morning. And all glory to God Almighty for all the hustle and the bustles of the week. And at the end of the day, we are retiring everything for this very Friday officially. And we give glory to God Almighty. Welcome to your show, and Precious Afolabi. Of course, we will be wrapping most of conversations I'll be having on the decks this day. And of course, we know a lot has been happening in the Nigeria, outside Nigeria, and definitely we try as much as possible to bring you up to speed. Even the happenings around the country and outside the country, it is our pledge, it is our responsibility to keep you people updated and posted. And of course, this is a program where we don't only talk about the issues alone right here in the studio. We try as much as possible to bring in people, analysts from all walks of life that are brilliant on the particular matters that we'll be talking about. And today also, I have the privilege of bringing one of our analysts. Of course, is not a stranger in the house. Definitely, that is Malam Abiodun Yita. He's on the show right here with me. Malam.
Good morning, Mr. Afolabi. Good morning, Nigerians and Muslim brothers all over the world. Barka de Juma.
Barka de Juma. You're looking very fresh.
Thank you. You are not doing bad.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You know, after the fasting now, I know that time we're like, and everything is all right now.
In recovery.
All right now, that's good. That's good. That's on the lighter mood. Please, we have things to talk about this morning. It's very, very, I can call it a very germane topical stories, which is transcending from the security to politics, and most especially the economic aspect of this very country. You're talking about Nigeria as a great country that is endowed with natural resources. And you ask yourself this very particular question, that is, what is happening with the Nigerian citizens? What is happening with Nigeria? Do we have that respect from other countries across the globe? We ask ourselves so many questions. As we have things to talk about, we will be going into the World Bank projections about poverty elevations, and even if Nigeria is part of the country that we can refer to as one of the poorest country, what are those things that actually made Nigeria to be in that role? We are blessed with so many resources, natural resources, whatever you want to talk about. We have some other countries depending on Nigeria for one thing or the other, and that is the strength of Nigeria. But of course, we will be going into very particular projections coming from the World Bank. Said Nigeria and others resource-rich and fragile countries in sub-Saharan Africa will experience an exacerbating poverty situations, unlike non-resource-rich countries with which are being going to foster into what we call abject poverty. And when you're talking about the country that are rich and fragile country, there's been categorized as countries that are blessed with natural resources, but at the same time, they're not making judicious use of the resources they have. And the country, the Nigerians, people in the country are clamoring for how they can be able to survive. Lands that is full of milk and honey, how come will the Nigerian really suffer for that? But let us just go, before we go into the headlines when we'll be going for the advert break, but let's just have a little perspectives of the economy of Nigeria. Malam Yita, if we are to look at it from the scale of 1 to 10, the strength of Nigeria, can we say that Nigerians are taking advantage of the strength when it comes to the natural resources, you know, to give it out to its citizens? Let's look at it from that angle.
Well, two things need to at least define here. We need to define Nigeria as a country.
All right.
And then we need to define Nigerians as people.
Nigeria as a country, as Nigerians as people.
So it is until when we're able to at least conceptualize this two, that I'll be able to at least come up with some realities as far as the situation of economy is concerned. Nigeria as a country is blessed.
No doubt about that.
In anything. When you talk of agriculture, is there, that is a non-oil sector. In terms of mining, is there. Then when you look at the oil sector, you can talk of so many things that are coming. In terms of having natural endowment in terms of resources, Nigeria is blessed. So that one, there is no controversy about it. Let's now look at Nigerian as people. The people that are now living in that blessed country are poor. Because when you have the largest percentage of people, let's say the concentration of this wealth is in the hand of few. The oligarchic arrangement of this control over economic resources, where you now have the poor are paying more into the purse of the rich. So automatically the rich are draining the poor on daily basis. The poor get poorer, the richer get richer. Therefore, automatically there is this equilibrium in terms of standard of living. As far as Nigeria is concerned, automatically we have a rich country, but with the poor people. Then where is the mismatch? The mismatch now lies on those who are in control of what we call the political economy of the country. And that is why I would say there is no how you can divorce politics or political arrangement or situation with the economic system. Because those who own the pipe, those who pay the piper dictate the tune, and at the same time, those who have the power of the political control determine the kind of economy you run all over. And once you did not get the right people in the right place to drive the economy, people will continue to suffer. There is no how about it. So we now see that the view of these resources, as mighty as it is, as plenty as it is, as rich as we are, concentrated in the hand of few who on daily basis multiplying what they have in stock, while people are being drained into their own well of wealth. Automatically, there is a failure as far as the government that are supposed to drive the economy to make it to be more somehow even though it's not even. Let's just have some equity. In such a way that an average Nigeria will wake up, there will be an enabling environment for you to make life without net stress. Until that is done, we will have a country that is rich, but the people are poor.
All right, we're still going to come into that very particular aspect. That what is the fault? Is that a fault in the Nigerian policy? We're still going to talk about that and about the equation. I know gone are those days we have the equations of the rich, the middle, the poor. And right now, the rich, the middle, the poor, and the poor of the poorest. That is the equation right now. We're still going to talk about that. Okay, you're taking middle away. All right. All right, let's go for this commercial break. And after the break, we will just kickstart proper for the show this very morning. It's DBS Show.
Flash sales. Do you need affordable smartphone with long-lasting battery with 32-megapixel AI camera? Visit Femtech showroom now to buy the new Redmi A5 smartphone on special sales. Get 3,000 Naira instant cash with free airtime. Old price 99,700 Naira. Flash offer 96,700 Naira plus 1,000 Naira airtime. To enjoy this offer, visit the nearest Femtech showroom. For fast delivery, please call 080-5151-6565 or 080-9999-6565. Make sure it's Femtech. Offer valid while stock lasts.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold in domain? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
Of course, I say you're welcome to DBS show right here on Diamond 887 FM in the city of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, with your main man, Precious Afolabi D. And we're rocking it together with Malam Yita on the show today. Of course, we still need to proceed on that very particular matter, but let's go straight into the matter of today. Nigeria being projected that, something is going to loop in this very country. Not only Nigeria, we have the likes of the Liberia, the Sierra Leone, we have the Republic of Congo as well. And they've been categorized as poverty in the rich and fragile countries, which what we say it envelopes the large economy, and with the projection is increasing. The poverty projection is going to increase to 3.6 percentage point between 2022 and we're still 2027, and we are in 2025. We still have 2 years to go, and let's see how that projection is really going to be. Now, according to their report, resource-rich countries, and there was a comparison with the non-resource-rich countries. The resource-rich country, fragile-rich countries, Nigeria is just as an example we're looking into, and the non-rich countries are benefiting from the high agricultural commodity prices, which are fueling stronger growth despite fiscal pressures. Resource-rich fragile countries are nations that possesses abundant natural resources, just like what I told you, and they are not taking the advantage of that. And in light of these projections, the World Bank recommends the Nigeria and the similar countries to focus on improving fiscal management and building a stronger fiscal contract with citizens to promote inclusive economic development and long-term poverty alleviation. To a layman, Nigerians are complaining that there's something wrong with the policy of Nigeria, there's something wrong with the leaders, the economy is not growing, even the agrarian states too, they are not even improving. Gone are those days when the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, said something. He said, see, there is no space in the civil servants. You need to go for farming. What is the improvement of this? Farming, what is the improvement? Do we have the right policies on ground for Nigeria to grow? Even if you want to shift away from petrol to farming, how can this be possible?
You see, it's only we are having fear of falling. And there's nothing wrong in falling as long as you can rise up again. They asked our Lord that, why did you keep contesting? He said, ability of a strong man did not lie in not falling, but ability to rise each time you fall. That's what makes you a strong man. Where did I come? You see, for economy to be revived, there are some daunting steps, or let's say 12 decisions that need to be taken, which I believe this present administration has actually taken since the inception. It is tough. Honestly, it is tough. Especially the removal of the subsidy, the floating of the currency, which actually led to the collapse of so many businesses. Yes, but what we are asking is that, what are those other things that you now put in place for us to start over again? And I keep saying this. The media and the quiet percentage of Nigeria focus more on the national government, forgetting this is federalism. And in a federal settings, there are 3 layers of government as far as Nigeria is concerned: the federal, the state, and the local government. There are some things that are exclusive legislative list that were majorly of federal government. But the issue of economy is under concurrent legislative list. Why do we have to focus more on the federal, and then we fail to check what the state and our local government are doing?
Whatever flows from the top comes to the down. Why?
That is the belief of an average Nigerian. I will now cite an example.
Right.
When federal government decided not to have farm settlement scheme or commercialize agriculture, why did Niger? Niger now said no. What is the focus of his own government is to invest more in agriculture. He started this commercial farming in terms of mechanized one in the area of livestock, in the area of crop production, and at the same time trying to bring up the young farmers from Niger State, giving them the skills, improve that of extension workers, and then give a kind of incentives for them to make way. Honestly, I may not be able to say much, but people within the Abuja FCT have been feeling what Niger state government have been doing, not only the people of Niger. And I can tell you, the stability of some price of goods, especially the foodstuffs, is as a result of some of those activities of some state governments who actually invest more in farming. My call here is that the state government should stop looking at every month they must go to Abuja to go and get this normal monthly allocation. Let them invest economically into their various states. I have some instance in Kwara State too. At least the Commissioner of Agriculture, both the agriculture and livestock, are now coming up with some programs that are trying to encourage young farmers, especially in fishery, especially in vegetable production, and that is what brings about this Thursday market there in the State Ministry of Agriculture. All these things are government policies, and I can see the state government, the state governor in Kwara State has been engaging some of these young farmers in various ways of encouraging them. If we have more, let every local government also try to bring that to the grassroots. One, the farmers in the village need access road. The farmers in the village need input. The farmers in the village need electricity. It's not necessarily you connect them to national grid. Get them renewable energies, especially as solar power and what have you, in order for the rural-urban drift to be so reduced. Once this is done, there is no job in the camp, but they are ready to go to the village as long as there is. And then I can tell you another one. There are some companies which I would not like to mention that are now partnering with some young farmers, especially in the area of soya beans production. These companies are ready to give input, they are ready to give money and some other things, provided you can get land where you cultivate. At the end of the day, they will buy over every of your products. These are the turnaround thing that we're talking in terms of economy. However, the government, both at the state and the federal, need to provide more of infrastructure. Once this infrastructure are expanded, they were being driven into the interior village, you will see the economy will have a turnaround, which what you have not been seeing from the government.
All right, no problem. Let's open up the phone line and see a little, contributions from the people out there. 09136556864 on WhatsApp, but call directly 09136556952. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is Godwin from Black Journey.
You're welcome, sir.
I will appeal to the government, sir. They should go back to farm settlement. They should introduce it. Very, very important. I wonder what did it in the West. Very, very successful. Let them go back again to farm settlement. God will bless you people and bless this country. God Almighty will see us through.
All
in
right.
Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much for your contributions. Yeah, you can join in on Facebook, Diamond 887 FM. Diamond 887. You can join us and let's have a conversation there. And of course, we've gotten, let's just pick this as well too. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you too, sir. Good morning, sir.
This is Mal, I'm calling from Okeke.
Good to have you.
Thank you to Mr. Yuka as well. You see, I like the way Mr. Yuka started this contribution by defining Nigeria and Nigeria as a country. So this country has been described in many forums as a giant of Africa because of our resources and because of our population. But I want to tell you categorically, there is nothing wrong with Nigeria. It is the people that we need to blame. In fact, we don't need to blame our leader, as our guest has rightly mentioned. We need to blame ourselves because we are the ones that gave them the mandate. We usually collected money before we put them in, and we know the right person. So if we have a good leader will turn around these resources in such a way that it will not be a wide gap between the rich, whereby the rich will become richer, as our guest has rightly mentioned, and the poor will become poorer. So we need to think twice. So Nigeria needs to, we need to change our mindset. That is my take. Then on the issue of soya beans that our guest has already mentioned, there is nothing wrong with the production of soya beans. But what about the insecurity that we have right now? What about the insecurity? Who is ready to go to the farm? The person will be afraid of doing it now. So the government needs to look into that as well. So God bless Nigeria. That's my.
All right, God bless you. Thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate that. And let's go to the WhatsApp. And someone here, my name is Saka Oniyo Muritala from Alure. I say, great. You people in the studio, our presenters have done more with topic. Governors need to put more ways to bring up our economy to standard way. God bless Nigeria. And of course, you can be part of the show by calling in to 0913-655-6952 on the WhatsApp 0913-655-6864. And I'm still coming to the Facebook page. Okay. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is Dr. Larry Okiki.
Doctor. All right.
Calling from Ilorin.
All right, you're welcome.
I want to greet both the presenter and the analyst.
Thank you,
sir.
Anytime like this, when Mr. Ika was in the studio, I used to enjoy them.
Thank you, sir.
Because they have an experience and how to address the issues. Most especially the topic that was on the floor. So according to my own contribution is that this poverty alleviation is very, very important for our government in Nigeria. So to alleviate the poverty. So according to our leaders, there is selfishness, too much of selfishness, self-interest, no fearing of God, no human feeling. So we're supposed to change our system because we can't be doing something the same way and be expecting a different result. That was my own contribution this morning. May God bless them and Dr. Lando Exponent from Itakure.
Thank you very much. Of course, this is where we say that sometimes, most times opinions really differ. Why some will be saying put the blame on the federal government, and some people say you don't need to put any blame on them. It's the Nigerians themselves. You need to ask these questions and what have they done wrong. Let's pick this call before we go for an advert placement. Hello.
Mr. Afolabi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thanks for the analysis. Mr. Ubola from Modota.
All right.
So, in terms of allocation now to the states, it's times 3 to what they are earning during the Patai Ahmed and Bukola Saraki. Are you getting me? Each state. I'm using Ilorin as a case study. Let federal government pass a bill to the House and let them sanction that bill that each local government must embark on farming. Not even on mechanized farming. Each local government will embark on mechanized farming. That is the only way forward for us in Nigeria. Because now we are over 300 million people in Nigeria. We don't even have data. That's the only way forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. A quick one there. Let's go for this advert placement, then we'll proceed.
Hello there. Looking for fun, laughter, entertainment, dance, trend, want to mingle or connect, some relaxation, and many more? Search no further. Diamond Amusement Park, located at Plot 2 New Yidi Road, Ilorin, is where you get those. We've got pendulum, carousels, rocket launcher, roller coaster, Oculus Quest, swimming pool, table tennis, bumper car, swing, seesaw, horse merry-go-round, slides, lawn tennis, video games PS4, piggy car, to mention few. Feel that adrenaline rush as I list our game. Want to celebrate your child's
child's birthday, graduation, reunion, get together, or want to surprise your friend, partner, or family, come visit Diamond Amusement Park today and you'll be glad you did. Refreshment is available at affordable rate. Gate fee is 500 naira. For further inquiry, call 080-2677-3152 or visit Plot 2 New Yidi Road, Ilori. Diamond Amusement Park, truly home of unlimited fun.
Dìde kára ó lè. Dìde kára ó lè. Ó yá lè dànù orí fífọ́, lè dànù ara ríro, lè dànù òtútù ibà, lè dànù. For fast relief of cold pain, fever and headache. Dìde kára ó lè kókó.
Ẹ sọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro kí wọ́n kán lùgbọ́ one time. Kára ó lè ti dé o. Àgbáwọlé ní iṣẹ́ ni àkàwọlé ń tè kan. Koríko tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti tẹ òtún gbérí mọ́. Dìde kára ó lè lúbúlúbú funfun pẹ̀ ìrúkù sarajọ mẹ́ra yágágá. Àjàká kò tí sọkọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro lágọ̀ọ́ ara. Káì! Kàṣàkàṣà knockout. Agbára ju agbára lọ. Dìde kára ó lè jagunla bí olùgbòǹgbò gàjàtọ̀ ara jàtọ̀ kẹtílẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ìlúra kẹgbà. To Yield Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi kápò oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Bára rẹ̀ ò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Má ṣàfihàn o, kàn sí dókítà rẹ̀.
Welcome back on your show. This is DBS Show on Diamond 887 FM with Precious Afolabi D and my guest Malam Abiodun Yita, and we're having a little view into the projections made by the bank. By the World Bank, that the projections of poverty and how Nigerians can get away from this poverty looming this very country. And of course, we have the International Monetary Fund, IMF, wants Nigeria to be prudent in spending. The Director, Fiscal Affairs Department, IMF, Victor Gasper, putting the house in order involves three policies priorities. This is the advice that is given to Nigeria. Talked about the three fiscal policies that Nigerians should lay this as the priority. One, the fiscal policy should be part of an overall policies. Two, fiscal policy should aim at reducing public debt and rebuilding buffers to create space to respond to suspended pressures and all the economic shock through a credible minimum terms framework. And three, fiscal policies should, together with other structures policies, aim at improving potential growth, thereby easing policy trade-offs in these times of high uncertainties. This is word that is coming from the professionals. But let us just look at it in 1 minute before we move to the next thing. That if you are to be given that opportunity, to lay an advice to the presidency, what would it be?
Well, I will ask the president to be more focused, especially in the area of these physical policies, but must have what we call a kind of human face by looking at what will be for the common man on the streets. It's not about bringing up policies.
All right.
But how would they affect that average man on the streets positively? That is what is the concern of every policies. It's not about who is there. But once good governance is there, people will be able to have trust in that government. The government should be able to bring back the trust of people by giving out policies that are masses oriented. In terms of these economic policies, I am yet to see the one that has a direct benefit with the poor in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Until the government haven't stabilized now, we want to see how they will roll out. In fact, I was not happy when you read out kind of news that has to do that so billions of naira will be going to children's school feeding. Who are we feeding? How many? Where are they feeding them? Who are those that are behind this? All these are things that we're using to scam the government in the name of bringing up some policies that does not lead anywhere should be removed. I said, don't feed my children. Empower the parents. Once you empower the parents, every parent will be able to feed their children now. Why will you continue to feed my children for me when you disempower me as a father? So what we are telling the government, forget about that school feeding something, is a kind of failure ab initio. Concentrate that kind of money into the physical aspect of economy. Which one are we talking about? Invest in farming, upgrade the infrastructure, let the people have access to prosperity. Then we are talking of a country where everybody will be able to add in their pocket and be able to bring something to take care of their family. Until that is done, school feeding, I'm not in.
All right. Thank you for your contributions. And let's go into the insecurity that is ravaging everywhere in the Nigeria as a country. Plateau elders express concerns over use of poison as a weapon for war. This is a very fresh information also, which we really need to know about. There's been back and forth on this, and it's not the first time that we have the National Economic Council, NEC, of discussing and agreeing that ranching is a key solution to farmers and herders clashes, which has claimed several lives across the country in very gruesome manners. And this has been one of the top matters that is ravaging that we really need to talk about in this very country. Cattle graze in the reserves inside the Paikun Koro community in the Guagalada on June 4, 2024, with more than 300 ethnic groups. Nigerians often struggles with the outbreaks of the intercommunal or ethnic violence and others farmers disputes common. Nigerian officials are promoting plans to give traditionally nomadic Fulani herders their own lands, and also the farmers also to have their own land as well, which they will need to, make their crops also to have an atmosphere of peace and just to get away from these clashes that we're having. But there is a very recent meeting, the NEC meeting held at the Aso Rock there in the Abuja, and we have a particular matter. Amongst all matters, we have this too. So let's get to listen to this.
Presentation from the Minister for Livestock Development and Growth. And his presentation has to be dealing with on the strategies of accelerated livestock growth. And he had a plan of doing that from now up until even 2030. And the strategy is built on the National Livestock Growth Acceleration Strategy, which refines and extends it to transform the sector into an international jobs, wealth creation, exports, and internally generated revenue engine room. The presentation projected that the strategy will build up to 74 billion down to $90 billion in that sector by the year 2035. In direct partnership with the sub-nationals, the state governors, and the private sector and foreign investors under a very sound federal regulatory umbrella. And this investment will be prioritized into 5 key pillars between now 2025 and 2026. And one of it is the animal health and zones control. The second is the feed and fodder development. The third is the water resources management. The fourth is the statistics and information. And finally, breed improvement, that's livestock value chain development. Council considered the presentation and the prayers. One of the prayers is to formally endorse the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development's inheritance of the NLTP, its strategic priorities, and associated with the implementing of the assets.
And of course, in short, that was the voice of the governor of Bayelsa State, Zoe Adiri, briefing the State House correspondent shortly after the meeting. The government says that the NEC emphasized the need to work towards modernizing livestock production in Nigeria. The NEC meeting held on Thursday came amidst the spurts of attacks on parts of the country, including Plateau, Benue, and Kwara State. Governor Diri explains that the new Ministry of Livestock Development has also reveals an accelerated livestock development and growth strategy, which targets to boost revenue generations from the sector to between $70 billion and $90 billion to 2023. Of course, this is not the first time that we've been having the revolvement of meeting from NEC when it comes to others. But my particular angle has gone to the 5 areas they look at, and that one is the animal health and zones control. Let's look at it. I think there is one language that the farmers and the herders really need to understand. You must not cross my boundary. How can we resolve this between those two parties?
Honestly, there is a double standard as far as these livestock policies is concerned, especially the farmer herders issue. Let me tell you, even in the pre-colonial times, there has been respect and reciprocity between the farmers and herders that they did not clash. During the colonial times, there are what we call grazing areas and grazing routes that are designed for herders whom the farmers don't cross. But with the coming of independence and during the military era, all these areas that have been demarcated or designed to be grazing areas were encroached by the power that be, especially with the Land Use Act of 1979. They now take over the land away from the customary landowners and now concentrate it on the hand of the federal government. With that power, many of these military people and their friends and whoever close to them now appropriated this land to themselves, which have altered the peaceful arrangements between the herders and the farmers that has been there, in fact, hundreds of years before the coming of the military. So they disrespect this, and that was the beginning of the clash. I want to tell you that the grazing areas, whom the Sardauna and the rest of them during the First Republic as designed, can still be fall back to. However, that plan has been altered. The next thing is when the last administration under President Muhammadu Buhari bring about the idea of Ruga. Ruga, that means rural grazing areas. That area will be like a settlement area where you have all these livestock practitioners, elders, health officials, and other, even the water and everything. Do you know what the political leaders in these areas come up with? They go against Ruga, saying they want to create a kind of settlement for the Fulanis across the country. We now ask them questions. Are the Fulani the only herdsmen? What prevents other tribes also to invest in livestock? Nothing. So, but tagging herds business with Fulanis, then we are getting it wrong. until we are able to see herding, that is animal herding, as a business. Although Fulani may be the one that is very popular about it,
in that business,
we must be able to see it more of a business than having attachment to the Fulanis. Until that is done, we'll now be able to now say, let us have a robust national plan for this livestock thing. If any state government, under any guys or these guys, are still trying to say we cannot give land for these livestock headers or whatever, automatically those ones will be driving us back, because these two businesses of cropping and livestock, or let me say animal rearing, is as old as man, and there is no how we can cancel one for another. What we need to do, which other countries of the world that are civilized are doing, is that there will be a settlement area, especially for these livestock business people. How will I call them business people? The header is a businessman. Those who into veterinary business, they are also business. So let us see how we can settle them. They are part of our economy, and the more we invest in it, there is potentiality for the economy to grow, and so that we shift our attention more away from the oil to non-oil sector. Honestly, livestock business or livestock economy, if it is well developed, it can sustain every local government, every state, and every country, if it is better, well packaged. So let me now tell you, the solution, the plan is okay, but what about the implementation? The NEC has done a very good job. The Ministry of Livestock has also bring a very good plan.
Yeah.
In fact, I was happy when I was listening to all this. Then would they have the political will? We not go the way the Ruga matter go. Ruga was the best thing, as far as I'm concerned, to be designed to solve this elder farmers crisis. But they kick against it for mere political sentiment, which we have to downplay if we want to grow as a nation.
I was actually coming to that point because sometimes when we have topic like this, of course, in the corridor of Nigerians, you will like to say ordinary Nigerians, they will need to pour out their minds. They will need to talk things according to the knowledge that they have towards it. And they begin to ask a lot of questions. Even we have the high and mighty in the societies that are rearing cattle.
Yeah.
So it will
And
be
they are not
difficult.
Fulanis.
And they are not Fulani. So what is really happening? Is this a means of sentiment? What is it about? How can we curb this menace? It is a social menace. It's claiming lives and properties of people every blessed day. So Nigerians are not really happy with this. This is a gruesome murder. And of course, let's just have your thoughts on this. 09136556952 to be part of the show, or you put your message there on WhatsApp 09136556864. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
It's good to have you, sir. Your name, where you calling from? All right, sir.
I'm calling from. When Mr. Issa is there, we always get the best.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm not disappointed this morning.
Thank you, sir.
So there's one thing about agriculture. Nigerians will put the blame in the wrong place. That is in the presidency. Farming is primarily the duty of state government. Even the president is a tenant wherever he lives in this country. The state governors own the land. And with allocations, see what the Bago is doing at
Niger.
your guest said, in Niger. Other states, they have the resources to do it. If they do it, the economy will improve seriously. Now, coming to this farmers, the greatest problem we have is the political will to deal with this situation. And what is the political will? Animal herding is a private business, like farming. Ondo people, they are predominantly farmers. They cannot go to Kano and start farming in another man's land. They will buy land and start farming. Like your guest rightly said, not only Fulanis are happy to animal heading. I remember one K1, the militia, is a rearing animal in Portland. Let's tell us we should stop pacifying one side of the country to be doing whatever is wrong. Then we will have peace. God bless you.
Thank you for your contribution. We really appreciate that. We don't want to deny you people joining us on the Facebook page. We really want to appreciate you. And we have Kolade Aide. Kolade Aide's contribution says that the governor, as a chief security of the state, should have state police. There should be parity of responsibilities and authority. State police is of necessity. I don't really get that construction well, but I do appreciate that you tuning in and joining us on the show there. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is Dr. Olani Okiki again from Itakure, Donny.
All right, sir.
Welcome. God bless you, sir, both the presenter and Mr. Ita.
Thank you, sir.
I wanted to talk on our security issues. So the application of modern technology on security is very, very important. So, and secondly, so if we can advise our traditional institutions to be allowed some security, such like local hunters, vigilante, and community policing, so the insecurity problem will be solved if we can apply this. That was my just for this morning. Dr. Lanre Okiki from Itakure.
All right, thank you, Dr. Lanre, for your contributions. Thank you, Abimbola Aziz. Abimbola Aziz is saying I5 to us right there on Facebook page. And we too, we really appreciate you coming in on the show today. Of course, my name is Saka. Okay, I've gone on this. Okay. Once again from Alure, greet you people in the studio. President needs to act fast in our security and economy to make everything change in the country. It's necessary to bring up state police at this moment. God help our country. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Afolabi.
Welcome,
More wisdom. Good morning, the guests and everyone.
Yes,
I wish every one of us double glory by special grace of God. This is Prophet Esther Yodele. I'm speaking from Airport, Ilorin.
All right.
On everything that they are debating on security issues, we have said a lot on that. And we believe that government will do the needful to apply all their advice putting down in their front. Secondly, by giving children school food, we want them to eradicate this. They should empower the parents. The parents know what to give their children. And again, on this livestock issue, it's a welcome idea too. If the security is sound and the people in charge can perform well, because there are many policies that white people advise Nigerians. But our only problem is that anything that we favor the masses, they won't work on it on time. That's why we met ourselves where we are now, in poverty, all these things, corruption. If they listen to good advice, the poverty will reduce and the corruption too will come down by using beautiful policies. But we are still praying for the present government that we look into all these policies and the advice given to them by the white people. All will be well. God bless us, Professor Ayodele.
Thank you, Professor Ayodele, for your contributions. The NEC are resolving to a modernized way of curbing this conflict between the herders and the farmers. Now, let's just wrap up the show. It's just 2 minutes to say our bye-byes on the show. In 1 minute, Madam Yita, how can we have what I can call a satisfaction on the side of the government now and the people, the Nigerians, of how this conflict, this attack, can actually be brought to rest finally?
Well, everyone, the government and the governed, should drop these ethnic sentiments. Honestly, the more we have sentiments, the more the suspicion and the more the hatred.
All right.
Until we see ourselves more, first as human beings, two, as Nigerians, irrespective of where we come from. and de-emphasize this religious bigotry. That is when we can have peace. On the part of government, they have all the instruments and the resources to reorientate Nigerians, not by lip service, but by actions, investment in critical infrastructure. Let me tell you, Mr. Afolabi, Nigerians doesn't have problem. And they have breathed trust over themselves for all this while. It is the politicians that are using some instrument like poverty, religion, and ethnic to divide Nigerians. And until when Nigerians realize this and will say no to those who capitalize on that, that is when we will have peace. Let me give you an example briefly.
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah. The Igbo man in Port Harcourt, who is a butcher, can only just call that Fulani man in Sokoto to transport so number of cows through trucks, and the money will be paid without seeing themselves. They have been transacting like that for years, no issue. I can tell you so many trust system has been going along. Even here in Ilorin, you get to your mechanic, and the mechanic will call on money now in Lagos, and before the evening they will deliver the parts. Which other trust do you want? My own is that the government should see a way of seeing that Nigerians de-emphasize religious bigotry, ethnic sentiment, and then find a way of reducing poverty.
All right, thank you, Malam Yita. The time is just fast. I don't really know why, but the conversation is getting beautiful. The Nigerians, our strength is in our diversity. Let's not forget about that. I appreciate you, Malam Yita, for coming to the show. My great appreciation go to you. Thank you very much. My name is Precious Afolabi. Don't forget the opinion of the people, the analyst, not by any means in a response or chemistry with this very station, Diamond FM Nigeria. And of course, we'll be meeting by the special grace of God next week, by the special grace of God, for another fresh edition. And I say, take care of yourselves.
You cannot control me. You cannot. Okay. You can have a little control, but I'm still in charge. I can attack any minute, but you can control for like a second. Oh, that's nice. That's a spot right